Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. I'm Dustin, and this is a Fantasy Football University video. What's Fantasy Football University, you say? It's an app that we made. You can get to it by clicking the link in the card or in the description. It's basically an online book for beginners all the way to experts. It takes you from before the season, during the season, in the playoffs to help you win your fantasy championship. This video is just a very small snippet, and this video series is going to have obviously stuff for beginners, stuff for a little bit more people towards the novice expert levels, but this video, top 10 tips for new fantasy owners, and thank you to Fantasy Jocks for sponsoring this series. Let's get into it. First tip, know what you're getting into. If you're joining a league that has 9 people that have been playing for 10 straight years and you've never played before, not saying you're not gonna win, just saying the odds are probably against you. Just know what you're getting into. Next tip, find a league that's right for you. If this is your first year, you might not wanna play in a league that has 2 quarterbacks, individual defensive players, 14-team league, so you got all this depth that you gotta figure out. Keep it simple as you get your feet wet. Number 3, understand the rules of your league. Is it a PPR league? How does the scoring work? How do all the ins and outs of your league work? If none of that makes sense to you, you can download our app, check that out, but there's a lot of different rules that can be in your league, so understand them. Figure out how they work before you get into your drafts. Next tip, participate in mock drafts. These are drafts that you do for practice before the real deal. If you're drafting online, you're gonna wanna go do the mock draft on the website that you're gonna be drafting so you can learn the interface. You can learn how how it works to put people in your queue for people that you wanna draft. There's so much going on draft day, it can be very overwhelming. You don't want learning the interface to be on top of all the other stuff that you have to be ready for. Next tip, cheat sheet for draft day. This is a big one. You gotta have this ready. Again, it can be overwhelming. You wanna have your guys ready that you want, your sleepers written down. Smack Talk does a cheat sheet every year. It's a great place to start. Print it off, write on your pen with your comments and tips and stuff that you just wanna consider during the draft. It's gonna come in handy. You gotta have your cheat sheet ready for draft day. Number 6, ask questions during the season. You can go into our forums and ask questions. You can have friends at work or just family members that know what's going on. There's more to it than you think. If you've never played, there is a lot to fantasy football. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Figure out a good spot to do that. Smack Talk is a good spot. Go into our forums, ask some questions. Number 7, know your league's waiver wire rules. Again, you wouldn't think there'd be a ton of different ways that this can work, but there are, and it's very important. Being good on the waiver wire can be the difference between a good team or a great team, so you need to know how the waiver wire works for your rules, for your league. Next tip, know the deadline for weekly lineup changes. This one you would think that this one could be unsaid, but you'd be shocked how many times people are scrambling right before the 1 o'clock games to get your lineups in. Set a timer if you have to, but if you have bye week guys in your lineup, there's nothing worse than that. Know the deadline, plan for it, be ready for it. Number 9, be proactive and improve your team. Every year there's a team that drafts a team and they have the same team the entire season. Part of what's fun with fantasy football is trading and picking up guys. Be proactive with it. Don't just draft your team and ride that team the whole year. In the last tip, it's a game. Have fun with it. I'm definitely guilty of this. I've thrown things. I've even Hulk Hogan'd off a shirt after a bad Monday night loss, but it's just a game. Have fun with it. Those are our tips for new owners. Get our app if you want to see the rest of it. Click the link on the card or in the description. And thank you again to fantasyjocks.com. If your league doesn't have a trophy, a belt, or rings, it changes the whole complexity of the league. Check out fantasyjocks.com, see what they have. You gotta have some sort of trophy. They have loser prizes too, which are always fun. So check them out, subscribe to our channel, like this video, comment, check out our website, and check out all our other university videos.